All right, how's everybody doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sorry I'm a little bit late. I was trying to prep for the show tomorrow night and just weirdly I feel like I'm running out of time. I'm sure you guys feel the same way. All right, let's get started. Tonight, we're gonna be making some mushroom soup it's a Julia Child's recipe, and it's very delicious, relatively easy, and we're gonna be making some garlic cheesy bread with it. It should be a really good dinner, and I hope you guys enjoy watching me make it and enjoy taking notes to maybe make it yourself at some point. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I'll go ahead and show you. This is actually the cookbook that we first found the recipe from. Jamie decided, I had bought a recipe book a few months after we first met in 2018, and we'd been spending a lot of time at her apartment, and I got an Italian cookbook, and so she decided, you know what, if you're gonna get one, I'm gonna get one too. And isn't that the way it goes? So she got this one and dove in and found this mushroom soup recipe, and we were like, wow, this is so good. So we've kind of doctored it up over the last few years, and we like to cook it every now and then. So that's what we'll be cooking tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of run through the recipe, and while I do that, I'm also going to get some of the other things out that I need. So, let me pull that up. Okay, so for the mushroom soup, 1/4 cup minced onions, roughly 7 tablespoons of butter you're gonna need for the whole thing, not at once, in different stages. 3 tablespoons of flour, 6 cups of boiling chicken stock, 2 parsley sprigs, 1/3 of a bay leaf, thyme, salt and pepper, chopped stems from a pound of mushrooms, thinly sliced caps from a pound of mushrooms, 1/4 teaspoon salt, teaspoon of lemon juice, 2 egg yolks, 3/4 cup of whipping cream, and 3 tablespoons of minced fresh parsley. Okay, and then we'll get to the garlic cheesy bread later. We need to kind of dive in on this. So, let me get some of these other ingredients out. Oh God, your flour. And let me pull this up too real quick. Flour, need the egg yolks. All right, onion, we got that, butter, flour, chicken stock, at that, parsley's out, and then bay leaf and thyme. Get that, thyme, and then where are the bay leaves? All right, salt and pepper. And then we have chopped stems from pound of mushrooms. Got the pound of mushrooms here, 16 ounces. And then, what else do we need here? We need more salt, lemon juice. I got my lemon here. And then, yeah, egg yolks, whipping cream, and then more parsley. So, I think I've got everything out that I need for this. Okay. I am going to quickly make a little drink. It's been a busy day. Ready to cook some food, have some fun. And so I think I deserve a little drink. I'm gonna wash my hands really quick before I do that. Been playing the guitar a lot today. Trying to polish up on some Coldplay songs for tomorrow night. They've got a lot of great ones, especially, I like Coldplay in their first 10 years. Some people prefer actually the more modern Coldplay, but I'm gonna be playing a majority of their older music. But it's pretty challenging. I mean, I knew a handful and I was aware of a lot of them, but actually putting them together to make it work for you has been a bit of a challenge because Chris Martin has a very diverse voice. He can hit pretty high ranges and he can also go pretty low. So he's actually a pretty difficult person to cover, especially if you're trying to do a full hour. But thankfully I've been able to find good keys for me. And the nice thing about guitars, you can use a capo, and with piano, you can always transpose different keys. So I think I've managed to muster up an hour to play for tomorrow night. So I think it's gonna be a fun live stream. Let's see, let me get this, and then we can get to rocking and rolling with the soup. And I think I'm gonna use the cast iron. We were gifted a couple of really nice Le Creuset cast iron Dutch ovens for our wedding in 2019. And man, we have really enjoyed having those because they make cooking pretty easy. All right, so let me get the Dutch oven out, and then I'll switch over the camera in just a second. Might be a little bit big, but that's all right. All right, that's up. And might need that, I'm not sure. Okay. Let's see. Let me switch the camera. All right. Cheers, everybody. Happy Wednesday. All right. What does Julia Child say to do? She first says, cook the onions slowly in the butter for 8 to 10 minutes until they are tender but not browned. So what I need to do is go ahead and cut up an onion, and then we'll quickly get that going with the butter. All right. Onion. This is a quarter cup. It's only like half onion. Move the cookbook a little bit so you can kind of see what I'm doing. All right, so we're gonna mince this onion up first. And then we'll be adding that to 3 tablespoons of butter here shortly. Trash can. It's always nice. I love having the trash can out with me while I'm cooking because you can just quickly toss shit in the garbage. Pardon my language. All right. I actually didn't cut this. I made the wrong first couple of cuts, but that's all right. You can get away with it. Do you guys have a favorite Coldplay song? I'm trying to think what mine would be. I tend to like a little bit more of their older, a little bit more obscure songs, especially from their first album, Parachute, and Rush Above the Head is a great album. I actually like the actual song, Rush Above the Head. Not one of their more popular ones, but I'm a big fan of it. All right, yeah, I kind of cut this up a little bit weird. It's right there. All right. She says a quarter cup. Once I mince this up a little more, it'll be a little bit closer to that. It might be a little bit more, but that's fine. I actually like a little bit more onion. I think it gives a little bit more flavor. You just want to be careful, not too much. So I actually might use about half of this, just to be on the safe side. All right, that's good enough. Chop. All right. Cheers, Mom is watching. Cheers. All right. It would be so cool if at some point, I mean, there may be a way to do that now, but it would be so cool if there was a way to live stream where it was almost instantaneous communication. You know, there's no 20-second delay. That's pretty much the standard. It's about 20 seconds. And it just is, it's just enough to kind of throw things off enough to where, you know, you guys may say something and then I say something a minute later in response, and it's just kind of a little bit thrown off. Hi, Patsy, good to hear from you. Are you still in College Station, or? Nice to hear from you. Hope you're doing well. Okay, so we got our onion here. Let's get the butter. Let's see. We're looking at, I think 3 tablespoons. I said, yeah. So equal part flour and butter. Get my 3 tablespoons here. All right. Get that going. And yeah, I should be able to just do it right here. All right, while that's going, let that butter melt a little bit. I'm gonna check out and see what we need to do next. All right. So it says cook the onions slowly in the butter for 8 to 10 minutes until they're tender but not browned. You do that, then add the flour and stir for moderate heat for 3 minutes without browning. Off heat, beat in the boiling stock or broth. Okay, yeah, I should go ahead and do that. Get the broth going. So let me do that. Hi. Still in College Station, nice. All right.
College Station.
Patsy.
Ooh.
Yep.
Patsy.
All right. So 6 cups. Yeah, that's actually not 20 seconds. That's probably more like a 10-second delay. All right. So we need 6 cups. All right. Heat that up. All right. Okay, so we're heating up 6 cups of chicken stock. We'll add that in here in a little bit. Meantime, the butter is pretty much melted at this point. So we're going to add the onion. We've been meaning to get out to College Station. It's been a little bit. It's been a little while since we've been there, but I can see us possibly going during the football season. But we'll see. I think the last game I went to was in 2000. I think that was when we got engaged. I don't think we've been to a game since. It was the Ole Miss game back in 2019. All right. Let that cook down a little bit, 8 to 10 minutes. On low. All right. Have you seen Benjamin Knox, by the way, Patsy? When was the last time you saw him? I haven't seen him in forever. I haven't been to his framing store in a while. All right, let's see. We got that going. 8 to 10 minutes. We'll add the flour. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and chop up the mushrooms in. I think this would be a good time to do that. So what you want to do with the mushrooms is remove the head from the stem. You want to remove all the stems first, and I guess I'm going to go rinse some. I'm not really sure. Since I'm on camera, I should probably rinse it. All right. So you want a pound of mushrooms. We usually get these 2 8-ounce packs. So yeah, you just want to take it and literally just remove. Try to remove the whole stem if you can, and then we'll slice up the heads, the mushroom heads here shortly. Some people don't do this process, and I've never really done it. Not doing this, but it really makes sense to me why she likes to do this, because you'll see in a little bit, there's a step where you take the stems and you kind of really mush them in the strainer and try to get all the juice out of the stems, and I think it adds flavor to the soup. Plus, too, I'm not really going to question somebody like Julia Childs on something like soup. I think she probably knows a little something about it. All right. Yeah, I know. It is time. We're ready to go back there at some point. Hoping my parents move out there at some point. We'll see. All right. We got 4, good. All right, getting close. I used to hate mushrooms growing up as a kid. I hated the texture and didn't like them at all. Wanted nothing to do with them. But I like them a lot now, especially in something like this. It still kind of depends at times. So I'm not a huge fan sometimes of mushrooms on my pizza. They have to really be cooked into the pizza. Otherwise, if it's just like a slimy mushroom on a pizza, I'm not a big fan of that. Yay, finally. All right. Good with that. Actually, just slice the tops in a minute. I think the onions are getting closer. Right. I guess I'm just starting more. All right. I think we can go ahead and add the flour. So we need 3 tablespoons of flour, right? Yep. Add the flour, stir over moderate heat for 3 minutes. So I'll show you guys what's going on in a second. 3 tablespoons. All right, so we just added 3 tablespoons of flour. I'm gonna switch over here to show you guys a little bit of what's going on because I need to be over there for a few minutes. All right, so we're working that flour in pretty quickly. The onions and the butter. Just a couple minutes of doing this, and then I'll be putting the chicken stock in once it boils. All right, so once you get it really to this consistency, you're pretty good as long as you're not on too hot of a heat. Just kind of keep it on low. In fact, I might even, until that chicken stock boils, I might even just put that on the back burner. But it looks like we're close. Put it on low heat on the back burner, just so I don't brown the onions. All right, so I'm gonna switch us back. All right, onions smell really good. We're just about boiled here. Let's see. Add the flour and stir over moderate heat for 3 minutes without browning. Off heat, beat in the boiling stock or broth and blend it thoroughly with the flour. Yeah, I think she's talking about the flour combo with the onions. That's right. Then season to taste. Stir in the mushroom stems and simmer partially covered for 20 minutes. That's right. Okay. So take this off heat. We're gonna put the stock is ready, so we're gonna pour that in. All right. Mix that up a little bit. Smells good with the chicken stock and the onion and flour and butter. Okay, so let's read this again. Off heat, beat in the boiling stock or broth and blend it thoroughly with the flour. Season to taste. Stir in the mushroom chips. So we're gonna season it with 2 parsley sprigs, which I have right here. It's about worthy of 2 parsley sprigs. So put our parsley in there, and then we're going to add thyme. I think it's like a couple teaspoons. No, an 1/8 of a teaspoon thyme. 1/8 of a teaspoon. Well, I know what that is, but it's like a little pinch. So I'm just gonna do that. All right, so there's our thyme. And we want 1/3 of a bay leaf. Very, very descriptive. 1/3 of a bay leaf. So about that much. And then pop that in there. Then we have, all right, so we got our thyme, bay leaf, parsley sprigs. We're gonna add a little salt and pepper. Should be good. And then all right. Now the stems, I believe, season to taste, stir in the mushroom stems and simmer partially covered. 2 parsley sprigs, 1/3 of a bay leaf, 1/8 of a teaspoon of thyme, salt and pepper to taste, chopped stems from, okay. All right, so now we're putting our stems in that we just pulled off of the mushrooms, that pound of mushrooms. Putting those in with the soup. Putting that in with the soup. And we're gonna let that simmer on low for about 20 minutes. And during that time, we'll make the bread. All right. Excuse me. Skimming occasionally, strain, pressing juices out of mushroom stems, return the soup to the pan. Stir the mushroom stems and partially covered for 20 minutes or more. Okay. So, God, it already smells really, really good. If you guys could smell this, you'd be getting excited. All right. Partially covered for about 20 minutes. All right. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get this bread going. So, what I'm gonna do for this cheesy garlic bread, I've actually never made it before, but I found a recipe that looked really, really good. So we're gonna try it. It calls for a whole baguette, and you cut it into 2 pieces lengthwise to start with. So we can go ahead and do that right now. So we're just going to lengthwise cut this with a bread knife. I think we did all right. All right, so there we go. Got our two ends. I need to actually pull up that recipe real quick. Okay. Cheesy garlic bread. I know what I can do. I can actually go ahead and shred some cheese per usual. What? Oh. You look like you have something to say. Speak your mind, Jamie. So we just got a turntable. Pretty excited about it. It's a gift for Jamie for her 30th birthday. Yeah. We just had to figure out, I think the belt around I don't know what it's called exactly, but I don't think it's tight enough. They said that if it's a little bit too loose, if you have it a little bit too high or a little bit too low, it'll bring the tone up really high. If it's too high, it'll make it sound like chipmunks. If it's too low, you know, it'll be very low and bassy. So we got to figure that out, but I'm sure we'll do that later tonight. All right, let's see if I can find this recipe that I found. Should have saved it. I think I know what website I found it on. Oh, where is it? Of course, it's totally different on a phone than it is on a computer. I don't know why that is. Maybe because I need to go to Google, because I was... There once was a man that I knew that was friends with my dad, went hunting with him one time, and he gave me some pretty good advice. He said, if you can't find it on, if you're under 30 and you can't find it on Google, you're, pardon my language, F-U-C-K-E-D. And you know, he makes a good point. Okay, I think I just found it. Let's see. Here we go. Yep. 3 cheese garlic bread recipe. All right. So we need to. Somebody keep an eye on that at 7 o'clock. We need to grate some of this cheese. Not too much. 1/3 of a cup of each. So let me move this over here. And get this going. So I'm going to do cheddar, Parmesan, and Monterey Jack. And we're going to have some garlic on there. I think it'll be pretty good. All right, so shred our cheese. Need 1/3 of a cup, so try to estimate that. Are you guys taking any trips anytime soon? Any vacations now that the weather's starting to get nice outside? Thank God. I think the next one we're going on is to Colorado in May for a family wedding. Should be really nice. It's been a little time since I've been to Colorado. I absolutely love Colorado. I actually have a family member in Colorado that just had their first baby, Austin and Jenny, which is pretty exciting. All right, is that about there in the cup? I think so. Yeah. All right, set that aside. And then I need Parmesan. All right. I need Jamie to come in here and talk to me. I need some conversation. It's hard to talk to yourself for too long. I think I'm actually gonna, yeah. It says it calls for a third cup of each with cheese and a third cup of fresh green onion. Garlic. Right. I think that's good. All right, so we have our cheese now. Ready. I think this bread is gonna be really good with the soup. I mean, this whole recipe makes dinner for two. Like the whole thing, we lick the plate clean and there's no leftovers. It's just literally 2 bowls of soup. So if you ever wanted to entertain with this, you would need to double it up or triple it or whatever you need to do. But the thing about this one, I think she intended it, this particular recipe, it's intended to be like a lunch type thing. We have it like in a little bowl, maybe even a ramekin or something like that with a sandwich or something like that, where it's more of a kind of a afternoon type thing, not necessarily a full meal, but we've kind of turned it into that. It's really good, especially like what we're doing tonight with some kind of a bread and a salad. You know, if you add enough with it, it is just delicious. All right, so I need garlic and I need to chop up some green onion. So I'm gonna go and do the garlic right now. While we're here. And then I'm gonna switch this over. So yeah, 4 cloves, roughly, you know, whatever you want. And then third cup of green onion right now. Okay. Oh wow, it looks like the video is a little bit fuzzy right now. I don't know if it's fuzzy for you guys, but it is for me. So that's something that I'm gonna keep working on, try to keep figuring it out. All right, 4 cloves. I think well, we have pretty good internet here, so I don't really know why it would be that. Okay, so I'm just prepping some garlic here. Hopefully I'm not fuzzy for you, I'm not sure. But we're gonna do 4 cloves while we make this cheesy garlic bread. We have been watching a lot of Frasier lately. I was about to say my sister and I, my Jamie, my wife, we've been watching a lot of Frasier. That is just such a funny show. When you get away from it, you forget how funny it is. You start watching it again, and it's just hard not to watch another episode after another episode because it's a rare episode on Frasier that's boring or not funny. Their writers were just so incredible. All right. Not fuzzy for me. Okay, good. Good, Chrissy. It's good. Must just be my computer or something. It's an old computer. I'm just kind of using it so I can track what's going on. But that is good to know. Thank you for letting me know. All right. So we got our garlic there. I should have minced that real quick. All right. It's amazing to me. I was talking to my dad about this recently, but it's amazing to me in the show Frasier just how Martin Crane, their dad, how much he changes throughout the show. He definitely, my dad was saying, it's like he probably ages more than any character on the show, but not only that, he also really, his personality seems to change as the show goes along. He's pretty harsh at first and very, blunt and ex-cop and just has a very, very different type of personality than his kids, his two sons. And as the show goes on, he definitely becomes a little bit more like Frasier and Niles in certain ways. He learns to have a good relationship, even though they're so different. All right, so we got our garlic here, and now I'm going to go ahead and do the green onions. So it calls for a third a cup. I'll just go ahead and chop these up really fast. And we'll be on our way. Jamie and I we're moving, and later this year, like October, something like that, September, October, we're building a house. But when we went through the design period, there was an option to have, I don't even know what it's called, but to where literally there's a thing behind your oven and your stovetop that will pour water for you, that'll pour water for you for boiling. And it's just like a convenience. I'm like, why can't you just fill up a pot at the sink and carry it 2 feet there? But apparently, some people absolutely love it. And I don't know if any of you have that, but Jamie's like, I'm telling you, Jeremy, you're gonna wish that we had it. But I just think it's interesting. It just that's the kind of thing that makes me think of Frasier, because it just seems like something that they would have, and find very important to have your water hook up behind the stove so you can pour your water, for boiling. It's so funny. All right, so we need a third of a cup. I'm just gonna. Good, I'm glad that's super clear. Yeah, I was not totally sure. Thank you guys for tuning in and checking this out. I think it's fun. We all love food, so it's kind of fun to pretend like we're hanging out and making a nice meal, listening to music, and talking about fun things. Just done with this. should be good. All right, so we've got our green onion now. And what else do we need now? Let's see. Let me shift over real quick. All right. Preheat oven 400. Should have done that earlier. Make sure nothing's in there. Like a pizza box or something. Okay, let's see. Preheat oven to 400. In a bowl, combine all the ingredients except the baguette. Now that's a pretty funny thing to include in an ingredient, in a recipe. In a bowl, combine all the ingredients except the baguette. It's like, who would go, oh, I guess I should, they said all the ingredients, I'm gonna put the baguette in there too. It's like, you didn't have to mention that. That wasn't necessary. Okay. Oh, they want you to put the butter in there too, really? So, in a bowl, combine all the ingredients except the baguette, mix till smooth. Slice the baguette in half lengthwise, then spread the butter mixture evenly on both sides of the baguette. Place on a tray. Okay. All right, so we want a stick of butter. We've got that. Well, we've got that, and it's room temperature. And then we want the garlic. And all the cheeses. Okay, Parmesan going in. Monterey Jack going in, and then cheddar going in. All right. And then green onion. That's it. All right. So a third of a cup. Let's say about that much, probably. Now we're gonna mix that up. Interesting. I'm already thinking right now, like, why do it like this? You know, why wouldn't you melt the butter first, in my opinion? And then mix it with everything, and then put it on, and then put it in there. I don't know. I think I've got it now. So mix that up, place on a tray lined with parchment paper, and bake for about 15 minutes until cheese is bubbly and started to brown on the edges. So 15 minutes on parchment paper. All right, cool. That's easy. All right, it's nice to see young peeps enjoying Julia Child. Good for you and your wife. Thanks. Yeah. I think we've done two of her recipes. We've done this one, and then we've done a like mushroom chicken recipe that was damn good. Jamie's made that. I haven't made. I've never made that before. I mean, Jamie's actually she's a good cook. She can make some really good things. I'm actually thinking at some point it'd be kind of fun to have her do this once we get a bit of an audience. Then I can unleash her on everybody, and I can sit back and be producer. That'd be pretty cool. All right. All right, well, that came together pretty well. Yeah, I saw that Julia Child's movie, is it Childs or Childs? I saw that movie with her with Meryl Streep. It's pretty good. She seems like she was a very interesting person, very talented chef. She really knew her sauces, and that's one thing. God, you learn how to cook, like, you know, a lot of that French cuisine and a lot of those sauces, and just you learn the basics of that type of food. You can learn how to cook a lot of different things. Okay, I'm going to spread that on the bread. They say parchment paper, I'm using foil. Parchment paper's good every once in a while. I'm a foil person. Okay. So we'll spread that on our bread. Cheers. This is apple juice, guys. It's apple juice. No, it's actually whiskey. It's bourbon. Bourbon, bullet bourbon. All right. Spread that on there. There's more than enough bread for the two of us, so way too much. But it looks like it's gonna be really good. So Chrissy, if you want to come over, got some cheesy garlic bread for you. All right. You can take turns being sous chef for each other. Yes, the movie was great. It shows a lot of, yeah, it does. It does show a lot of personality. Yeah, you're right. We actually like doing that sometimes, being sous chefs for each other. It's funny how sometimes you just want to cook and you want the other person to just stay out of it. You just want to do everything, and then, you know, vice versa. And then sometimes it works to work together. There's actually a movie called No Reservations. I'm sure some of you have seen, and that always reminds me of that. Cooking with your spouse, your boyfriend or girlfriend, it can be a very romantic thing to do, which I think is pretty cool. I think that's a kind of a fun romantic comedy. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. All right. Now we're just gonna, you know what, honestly, I'm just gonna do this side. That's way too much bread for us. And then we can have a little bit extra of this deliciousness on here. If you guys were coming over, we'd do both sides, but for tonight, I think this is gonna be way more than enough. Right. Another movie I love that involves food is Chef. That's one of my favorites. Love that one. And then there's another good one that we watched like maybe a year ago or something like that. And it's about this girl this Hispanic girl that wants to become a sushi chef. And I guess, you know, it's unheard of for women to do that, or at least it has been traditionally. But she fights pretty hard for it. It's a really good movie, and it really makes you want to have sushi and dumplings and all sorts of stuff. All right, so once that preheats, we'll put this in the oven for 15 minutes. Haha, I was just going to say I'd take the bread. All right, I'm gonna make a salad here. Go ahead and throw that together while we're waiting. You know what? Actually, the soup is pretty much done at this point. So it's been, well, it's not done, but it's this stage of the process is done. So I should actually probably go ahead and get with that. So I'll go ahead and give you guys a quick look at that, and then we're going to drain it into a pot just to get rid of everything but the soup. Just get all the juice out of it, and then we'll go on to the next step. All right, so we got that ready to go. I'll give you guys a quick look at it. Let's see that. Stovetop scene. Let's check it out. So that's it right now. Give you guys a look. Yeah, where's my spoon? Yeah. So that is ready for the next step, and it's smelling really, really good, really good. So I'll go ahead and explain. What we're gonna do now, we're gonna strain out all the juice, everything out of this that we can, and for the soup, and gonna get rid of all the mushrooms are gonna be gone, the onions are gonna be gone. We're getting rid of the onions. No onions, no more onions in the soup. Just it's only there for the flavoring. So let me switch over. And let's do that. This is when it really starts. This is what made me kind of go, wow, this is cool. Like you just literally just strain it out and get rid of everything else. All right, so we're gonna pour that. So what I have a strainer here on top of a pot. I'm just gonna strain it out. And it's like liquid gold. You just want to save as much of it that you can. Okay, just a little bit. And then an important step here is you want to take your spoon or whatever you have, and you just really push into the onions, and especially more than anything, the stems of the mushroom. You want to really squash it, get all the juice out of it that you can. All right, we're just about there. Bread's going in. Yeah, it smells good, doesn't it? I was just saying, at some point, once we get a bit of an audience for this, I'm gonna unleash you on everybody, and you can start cooking and having your own spot on the show.
You're gonna unleash me?
Yeah.
Ooh, I can make like cocktails or
You can make all sorts of stuff. You can make dinner, and we can just have commentary back and forth. Chrissy and I can just judge you. Are you sure you want to put that in there, Jamie? I don't know.
judge me.
Yeah. Well, it would be like a cooking show, like a competition. Beat Bobby Flay. It'd be like,
Beat Jeremy.
I'm gonna beat Jamie.
No.
I'm kidding. All right. That's pretty good for that. So now for the most part, what we have here is just liquid for the soup. So it's just kind of, so we take that out. Kind of give you guys a look, if you can see it. It's just basically broth of the soup, has a lot of good flavor. And now, let's see, what did she say to do? Strained pressing juice is added mushroom stems. Return the soup to the pan. Melt the butter in a separate saucepan. When it's foaming, toss in the mushroom, salt, and lemon juice. So while I have the butter going, I need to be slicing these up because these need to be pretty thin. All right, so let's get a little saucepan. With this one, actually, how much am I putting in there? Let's see. I'm putting the butter and the mushroom, salt, and lemon juice. Put the mushrooms and the cooking juice in the stew. Well, actually, I might be able to do it in this. I think that's gonna be big enough. So, how much butter do I need? 2 tablespoons of butter. All right. Get that heated. All right. Just keep that heated here. All right, and then let's get after it with these mushrooms. All right, so just so you just want to slice your fingers up real nice and thin. Just slice the heads of these mushrooms as thin as you can. I mean, it's kind of, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's kind of almost impossible to get it perfect unless you're just like insanely good at cutting mushrooms. It's probably my least favorite part of this is just cutting these. It's kind of hard to thinly slice mushrooms just because they're so fragile. I mean, I'm sure my knife could be sharper, but still, it's kind of a tedious thing. Right, I'm good with that. All right. Right. So, if any of you aren't already on my mailing list, I urge you, you should definitely get on it. can go to my website and join, or just send me a message, ask me. But if you want to keep up with some of this stuff, that is definitely the best way to be in the know. I'll be sending those out every week, probably 2 newsletters a week, just to keep everybody updated on when things are going down, what's going down, things like that. At some point, you know, there'll definitely be some new music as well, some actual like originals of mine. There's going to be a lot of good content coming, so I would love it if you guys joined, just for the simple fact of it just makes it easier for you guys to keep up with things, and you know, you can even put some stuff on your own calendar if you want to, however you'd like to do it, but it definitely helps. Okay, pour the let's see, that's right, the butter's got to be ready, so we're gonna add the mushrooms. Yikes, I might need it bigger. Let's see if I can fit this in there. They are going to cook down pretty quickly, so I think this should be fine. All right, we did it. So let those cook down a bit. And let's see, we'll put a spoon. Oh, you know what? I didn't time it for 10 minutes. Just keep an eye on it. Okay, so, wow, that bread's smelling good. Melt butter in a separate saucepan. When it's foaming, toss in the mushrooms, salt, and lemon juice. Teaspoon of lemon juice. All right, where's the lemon that I had? Right here. I'll just... Teaspoon is not very much, so we're just gonna... All right. Got lemon juice in there, and we want salt. She calls for about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Mix that up. Mushroom, salt, lemon juice. Cook, cover and cook slowly for 5 minutes. Right. So. All right. What do we have next? Let's see. Pour the mushrooms and their cooking juices in the strained soup base. Pour the mushrooms and their cooking juices into the strained soup base. Simmer for 10. Should immediately set aside and cover and fill surface with spoonful of cream or milk. Okay. Beat the egg yolks and cream in the mixing bowl. Yolks. All right. So once I transfer that, then I'm going to work on the salad quickly. And so for the salad, we're gonna do maybe spring mix. That's about one. And that's about 2 right there. All right. We've got some dill. Pick that up. So what are you guys having for dinner tonight? Why don't you message us in the little message box there and let us know what you're having. Even if it's Tostinos, you know. We're not judging here. Tostinos are pretty badass. Those commercials are so funny. Those old commercials where it was like the kids thought the mom was so cool because she had pizza bites or pizza bagels or Tostinos or something. You're like, it's like the only reason they were best friends with the kid was because of the snacks that the mom had in the house. Pretty funny. We're going to Johnny's every afternoon after school. Even though he sucks at soccer. And really lame. His mom is so cool. All right, so that should be, we definitely like a good amount of dill in there. I'll give it a little more, and then I think we're good because this is a huge salad. All right, got that. Excuse me. Put a little bit of green onion. We've already prepared. I'll cut up a little bit more. I'll just use this. Big deal. About 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah, it does. Right. Got that, and then we're gonna put some feta in here. Boiled shrimp and all the fixins. That sounds like Dad said that. That sounds pretty good. We're on our way to your place. Oh, pizza. Chrissy's making pizza.
Chrissy?
Yeah. We're on our way to your place. Yeah, come on over. Come on over. All right, got that. Now we're gonna add some feta cheese. All right, I think that's good. Everything just smells so good. I know. Boiled shrimp, huh? Pizza sounds pretty good too, though. Pizza's always good. All right. And then do some black olives as well. All right, I need to transfer this. I think this has been over 5 minutes. These, ooh yeah, it looks really good. The mushrooms are cooked down nicely. They're cooked down really nice. So we're gonna transfer the mushrooms over now. The big thing too, I have to be careful, and I always forget that with soup, is that, you know, the more you have it just going, it can kind of condensate and you can lose a little bit of that, soup base, the stock. Okay, so we just added our mushrooms and liquids that it was cooking in. See, simmer for 10. All right, so we'll just kind of leave it there, let it simmer for a little bit. I don't think it wants us to cover it. All right, so I'm pretty much done with this. Trader Joe's 3 cheese. Ooh, nice. Wow, that sounds really good. Damn. You should do a cooking show. So, I got my Trader Joe's pizza here. So what you want to do is you want to unwrap it, and then you want to preheat the oven, and then you want to open a bottle of wine and wait, and then pop your pizza in. That's actually a really good way to do it. That's a great way to do it. All right, let me cut up some of these. I'm using a bread knife right now. It's kind of dangerous. Living on the wild side with the bread knife. I've cut my fingers so many times with this. Actually, the smaller bread knife. The small bread knife is my nemesis. That thing, I don't know why. That's the only knife. Every time I'm using it, I'd freaking cut my finger. The small bread knife just really pisses me off. Just, it's out to get me. All right, so I think the bread is done. Let's check it. I hear you. Pipe down over there. It's like a needy dog. Did you hear me? All right. That's good. Yes, good God. Ooh, well, yeah, it's done. Oh my God, it looks so effing good. So here's our bread. You know, it kind of looks good. It's also really hot and a good place to put it. I'm just gonna put it right here. Wow, it looks really good. Whew, it smells good too. Yikes. All right, our salad is done. It just needs dressing. It needs to be tossed. So let's finish our soup. It said simmer for 10. I think we're getting closer to that mark. I mean, you could just have dinner with that bread right there. All right. So right now, I'm going to beat the egg yolks and cream in a mixing bowl. So 2 egg yolks. Oh, yolks, Jeremy, yolks. All right, 1 egg yolk in the basket. All right, now we need 1 more. This is like a weirdly satisfying thing to do. and separate the whites from the yolk. It's weirdly satisfying. I don't know why. All right. So we got 2 egg yolks, and then we have like what 3/4 of a cup of whipping cream. All right. So. Three-fourths a cup. Say about that much. And then mix that up. Beat the egg yolks and cream in the mixing bowl. So, I don't know if you guys have heard of this guy named Basics, or his name is Babish. He's got a show called Binging with Babish and Basics with Babish. But honestly, he was the one that like gave me the idea to do this little cooking thing, because I enjoyed during this last year with the pandemic, I enjoyed really, he did live streams and he had videos talking about the process of making different types of meals, and I really liked the way it was put together. It was just it was pretty cool. It just made you want to cook, and so you guys should check that out. Check him out. He's a pretty big deal nowadays. I mean, he's on the Food Network and things like that. But you should check it out. He's got a lot of good wisdom when it comes to cooking. All right, so. You want to beat the egg yolks and cream in the mixing bowl, then beat in hot soup by spoonfuls until a cup has been added. Gradually stir in the rest. Correct seasoning, return the soup to the pan and stir over moderate heat for a minute or two. Okay, so yeah, we're really close. So in a few minutes, I will add, like they say, spoonfuls at a time into the soup. This little mixture we have going on right now. And then, really at that point, I'm pretty sure we're just gonna serve up and add some parsley, and then we'll be done. So, all right. Let me just double check. Heat December, which will take 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, beat the egg yolks and cream in the mixing bowl, and beat in hot soup by spoonfuls until a cup has been added. Gradually stir in the rest. Correct seasoning, return the soup to the pan, stir over moderate heat for a minute or two to poach the egg yolks. Okay, I think we're, yeah. All right. Almost done here. Cheers. All right, so we're gonna do, this is gonna thicken it up really quickly. It's already looking great. Okay, so I think we've hit about the 10 minute mark. So we're just gonna add a little bit at a time of this mixture. I should probably take it off heat, actually. Oh, shit. Dropped it. I dropped my whisk. Yeah, so we're just gonna gradually pour a little bit into this. I'll give you guys a look on the different camera angle just to show you. Just give me a second. All right, so we're gonna add in just a little bit of time of this egg yolk, and it's gonna thicken it up so fast. It turned what I showed you guys earlier, kind of that soup stock looking soup. Now it's got more of a creamy, creamy texture, creamy appearance, and yeah, we're pretty close at this point. So let me move it over a little bit and show you what's going on over here. Our soup is looking divine. It's looking divine. All right. So I'll give you a look at it real quick. Stovetop scene. All right. So that's our soup. And we need to work quickly here. Serve it up pretty soon because we don't want too much of it to you know, we don't want too much condensation. So we got this going, and I think actually the next step is add a little bit of butter. Yeah, I think it's done. Yeah, let's see. Let it rest quick. Season your soup in the pan, stir over medium heat for a minute or two to push egg yolks, but do not let the soup come to a simmer. Yeah, so let me turn that down a little bit. And then off heat, stir in the butter by tablespoons, pour the soup in the tray and soup in every. Okay, so 1 to 3 tablespoons softened butter. Nice, we got really close. All right, so I'm gonna season just a little bit. I like to put at this point just a little bit of salt and then a little bit of pepper. And mix that up. Then I'm gonna take this off heat. Off heat. And then I'm gonna add a couple of tablespoons of butter. Actually, I can just add this whole thing. 3 tablespoons, that's fine. 1 to 3 tablespoons softened butter. Stir in the butter by tablespoons. Pour the soup into drain. Yeah, all right, we are ready. We are ready to go. All right, so I just put in about 2 to 3 tablespoons of butter. Let me show you. Sorry about that. It's right here. And we're gonna let that butter that I just put in there, we're gonna let that melt off heat. It's off heat. Just let it kind of melt in with the soup. And during that time, I'm going to grab just a little bit of parsley, quickly chop it up, and we'll just kind of garnish the soup with that. Our bread's ready, our salad's ready, we're ready. Our tummies are ready, we're ready to go. All right. Oh, I keep forgetting to change it. Change it to the main live scene. All right, guys, getting pretty close to dishing up. All right, let that butter just keep melting in there. Oh yeah, it smells delicious. All right. Got our garnish ready. I'm just gonna chop this up real quick. Not the right knife to be using, but we'll have a chef knife right now. It's clean. And I was hoping this would get the job done. Not exactly. So I just tear it. All right, here we go. It is time to rock and roll. So the first thing I'm gonna do is dish up the soup for us. And I find a good ladle. Oh yeah, it looks really good. Butter's melted. And it's time to serve. give you guys a look at it in just a second once we dish it all up.
Oh, it's so good.
All right, there's the first one. Gonna give you guys a look. That's what the soup looks like. It's numero uno. The next one. This is not Campbell's cream mushroom. I know you probably thought, what is he making cream of? He's making mushroom soup. The hell? But yeah, this is totally different than that. There's actually a little bit left. Usually there's. All right. See if I can get a little bit more. All right. Here's our soup, and here's our bread. Let's get a plate for bread. That's fine. Ooh, this bread is gonna be so good. All right. Here we go. We've got our cheesy bread. We have our mushroom soup. And we have our salad ready to go. I think we're ready for dinner. Thank you guys for watching, and hope you guys have a great rest of the week. And tune in tomorrow night if you get a chance for the Coldplay themed live stream. Thanks again. Talk to you guys soon.